to Buckets and Bubbles.
Hello.
It feels like it was ages ago, but Mike, why is it called Buckets and Bubbles?
I've not thought of one. It's because Michael Jackson's chimpanzee has started a cleaning business. I'll just amalgamate a few of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah.
Do.
Is Michael Jackson's monkey still alive?
I think Bubbles is still alive, and I think Bubbles lives in a zoo, but he's quite vicious.
He's not touring the circuit.
Yeah.
Sort of.
He's not wearing that jacket and that glove and riding a unicycle. Or...
He's not. No. Is that what he did?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've seen that once.
Okay, fair
Might have
enough.
been a fever
And
dream.
you're quite right. He is a chimpanzee, not a monkey. So.
Yeah.
Is
Thanks,
he a chimp?
David
He is a chimp. Yeah, they're different things, aren't they?
They are. Yeah,
What do I
monkeys
know?
have tails, and chimpanzees are apes, and we are apes. Yeah.
Okay, and that's why I'm an actor and not a zoologist.
Yeah. Snap.
Shall we start with West Ham?
Yeah, I suppose. So, Areola started, which was I don't know if you saw my Instagram. I made quite a deal about that when the team news came out, and was relieved to see Areola start. And to be fair, I think he did a better job than what Hermansen's probably done. He's still letting 2 goals, but I think we'd have probably let him more had he not been in between the sticks. Yeah, it weren't great at all. Just running through the starting lineup, Areola obviously, Walker Peters, who I think was at fault for the second goal, ball watching rather than watching the man. He left his mark, and Mavropanos was decent. You know, he was trying his best. I think there's a little bit of miscommunication between him and Walker Peters for that second goal, but I think that's more Walker Peters than Mavropanos' issue. Kilman was shit. He just is. I don't understand how he's a Premier League defender. Every week I just think, what are you doing? I think with Kilman, I think his ability and his tactical nous, to use a regional word, is just isn't what it should be. And I think he reeks of desperation sometimes. And I think it's a great story of somebody who started doing futsal and represented England at futsal and is now a Premier League, player. But I don't think he's had the time and experience in the environment where he can really hone his skills as a centre-back to confidently carry out his duties. And that feels really damning. That feels really, really damning. But every week I just look at it and go, change my mind, Maximilian, and he doesn't.
By the way, I think tactical nous, I think is it's universally.
Is it universal? I was thinking nous felt very Yorkshire.
I think it probably is.
Yeah.
I think the way you say it is quite, or the way I say it is quite Yorkshire. But I think that's okay. I think people will understand. The 3 listeners that we have, I think, will understand.
Yeah. Diouf, I think, was good. Diouf, who also went into the book, and I think that's a little bit of naivety from him. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's a much better player than Kilman. There you go. He deserves the benefit of my doubt, whereas other people have yet to endeavour themselves on something like that. Up until the goals, you kind of go, it's a little, it's naff football, but we're not terrible, and I think that was something, I think that's to do with the change in the goalkeeper, and I think it's a little bit to do with kind of Wilson doing a lot of running and pushing and pressing and not conceding too much land. What's the pitch? Yeah. Territory. That's a good word. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because Wilson's a really good centre forward when he's fit, which he is at the moment. So he's a really good centre forward. I think he's really pushing that, pushing it forward a little bit and keeping Palace out of our half, which is nice. The big problem I think is still in midfield. Ward-Prowse is, as much as I can really appreciate Ward-Prowse and his career and his abilities and all that kind of stuff, I just don't think he is able to demonstrate his full range in whatever position he's asked to play by Graham Potter. I think he can't go from somebody who is a set piece master, and then when you watch how he's been deployed by Moyes and by Potter, because Lopetegui didn't like him and sent him to Forest, When you see how he's been deployed, there isn't any of that. He's just a defensive midfielder with no pace, so he can't get back and affect any counter attack whatsoever. And whatever's happened to his free kick ability, I don't know. Because
how old is he?
He's 30, I think.
Right.
So his legs, you can kind of forgive so much. I mean, Mark Noble played up until, the season before he retired with no legs whatsoever. And the season he retired...
You've done well. You've done well to get this far without mentioning Mark Noble.
This far into the series.
Well, you've mentioned him a couple of times, to be fair.
All right, well.
But yeah, not that much.
I might mention him again.
Expecting...
I mean, he is... My signed shirt up there. That was the thing with this game, is it felt like once Palace went ahead, we were sticking to an existing game plan rather than adapting to the situation. So, like, the substitutions were happening at 60 minutes, and I think that was pre-arranged just to maintain fitness. So, Somerville going off in the 78th minute and Guilherme coming on. So, like, Guilherme's got 12 minutes to have an impact on the game, which, he's 18, 19, he's not experienced. 12 minutes isn't enough. Magassa came on and didn't do well at all. One of our new signings. I think he's had a couple of games now where he's come on and been really ineffective, but he's not had a lot of time. Again, he came on at 12 minutes, which feels like it was pre-arranged. So this is an idea of, I'm going to give Guilherme and Magassa minutes rather than I'm going to bring these on to affect the game and possibly push for a win. Once they were 2 goals ahead, Palace were sitting back and making their substitutions to rest players. So they were reacting to a situation where they were like, West Ham are not proving any sort of threat, so we're going to, you can come off and have a rest, you can sit down and have 20 minutes and a cup of tea or whatever. Interesting stat as well is Palace's manager, Glasner, is that how you pronounce his name, has won at the London Stadium more times than Graham Potter.
That's a great stat.
It's a great stat, that, isn't it? Once with Frankfurt, twice with Palace.
Is that actually true?
Yeah. And we've won with Potter twice. Once last season and Nottingham Forest.
Right, but hang on. So hang on a minute. Right. But actually, when you look, and I know the stats don't tell the story, we know that. But when you look at the stats, there's not a lot between these two teams.
No.
The passing accuracy is more or less the same. You've got more passes. You've had more possession. I mean, they had more shots, but you both had 3 on target. I mean, is this a case? Because we've been talking about, as Leeds fans, we've been talking about this quite a lot recently, or certainly up until Wolves. It's about the efficiency.
Yeah. Obviously, Jared Bowen scored, and he is our best player by a long stretch, but he shouldn't be our best player. He is, by merit of the fact that he's the only person who comes on and scores and puts the effort in. Our best players should be like Paquetá or Fernandes or Fulkrug.
But you just said putting the effort in. Are you saying they're not putting the effort in?
I am saying that. I am saying definitely that that it feels like...
name some names. Who's not putting the effort in?
Kilman. But there's a difference. I think there's a difference between not being able to put the effort in because of their willingness to put effort in, their tactical orders from the managers as to how they're being deployed, and their technical ability. So Kilman cannot put enough effort in because he's shit.
It almost sounds like you sort of feel sorry for him.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he sounds like a really nice guy. He looks really popular amongst... But he can't defend for toffee, which is why,
It's a problem.
And yeah, there's a bit of a clumsy thing going on with Walker Peters for that second goal. But I think that's Walker Peters more than Mavropanos, 100%. Walker Peters is ball watching. He's not covering his own man. And he lost Mitchell. And if Mitchell wasn't aware of the space and exploiting it and being, doing exactly what he's supposed to do, on another day, we'd have got away with that. The look at it.
Yeah. And to be fair, you'll get away with that next season in the Championship.
Yeah. I think we missed Souček a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
I think
big player for you.
Had Souček been on the pitch, I think we'd have had that threat, that aerial threat in the box.
How long's he out for?
3 matches. So
it was just the straight. It was. I couldn't remember whether it was a straight red or 2 yellows.
Straight red.
So he's out for three matches. Big miss that.
Yeah,
Big miss that.
He's not somebody who has many touches, but the touches he has are always, effective, and he's good at breaking up play. And yeah, he's missed. Hammers United organised a protest, and it looked like there's about 5,000-6,000 people all lining the pathway into the stadium. Nobody saw David Sullivan because I think he got in there early and avoided it all. And West Ham put out a statement saying, "Aren't we brilliant? We've won a trophy." And it's like, yeah, we won it in spite of you. Do you know what I mean? You've actively not done anything that enabled us to win a trophy. There is that was the whole thing of go to London Stadium, we'll be top 4, and then now in this thing it says like, oh, in 5 years we'll be top 6. You said that 11 years ago when we left Upton Park.
Of which league?
Of which league, exactly. yeah, that's the thing. It's that, innit? It's what's the meme?
Oh, no.
There's one of them. But yeah, speaking of memes, there's a whole thing going off in the last 24 hours of Graham Potter. Because if you've not noticed, people, we're not recording this straight after the game. It's Thursday. It's this whole thing about where they're doing face swaps and just sticking Graham Potter's face on the most ridiculous people. So, like, Sullivan's missus is probably the weirdest one. Jay from the In-Betweeners, which I thought was just,
nice.
Being Palace last weekend. Because he's a Palace fan.
He's very defiant, though, isn't he? He was very defiant.
Yeah.
What's his payoff? Do you know?
I think his payoff is about 6 million.
Oh my God! Because did you see that? I know it's not football, but did you see the Formula One?
No.
The Red Bull team have sacked. I mean, it's been a long time coming. Chris Horner, who was the
I saw that he'd been. I think he'd been put on garden leave. Last thing I heard. Yeah.
Well, he's been relieved. Or they've separated whatever the terminology they use these days. But his severance pay is reportedly about 52 million.
Jesus Christ!
I know.
I'd love to be a shit race car driver. Married to a fucking Spice Girl. Might have to edit that.
Yeah, but so it's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
6 million. Go on then, give us a stinker.
Walker Peters. Walker Peters for that second goal.
All right.
Simple as. It was just one of those where you just caught ball watching, and I think Walker Peters has been really good actually in the games that he's played and started. And for somebody who's coming for a free from a relegated team, I think he's done really well, and I really like him. I think he's progressive, and I think he's positive in his action on the field, and it's just unfortunate. It's just one of them.
I'll quickly move on to Leeds. I mean, the big narrative, of course, before the game was that, and I've said it before, I don't know where the goals are going to come from. I don't know who's going to score enough goals to stay in the league. I think we'll be all right defensively, etc., etc. They've sort of put some of that to bed for now, but we've got some very hard games coming up because obviously we beat Wolves 3-1 away, which is always nice to get an away win. Okafor, again, he was awful in that first half. Okafor, awful.
As the game were progressing, I saw that Wolves had scored first, and I was like, oh, it must be, one of them weekends where neither of us were going to have a result. And then I didn't pay attention then till full time. And then I saw Okafor scored the third, and I was like, yeah, I guarantee that will be a talking point that he scored it.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, Mike, awful. I think the rest of the team, I'm not going to go through them individually. I thought they were all pretty good. I think that the defence, I think we're going to be fine with the defence. I think Carl Darlow has stepped in, and I don't see him losing that number one, that place in nets particularly. Back four is pretty solid. Goodmanson, who I kept claiming that Leeds had put him as a Viking. No, not as a Viking,
gladiator.
As a gladiator last week. It was in fact a Viking. And actually, Leeds this time on social media, whoever was doing it played it very, very safe. There was Stack, but it was sort of on a programme. It was sort of old school.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they played it safe on the social media, as you will see. Ampadu, Longstaff and Stack, they did okay. They didn't do anything wrong. I mean, that free kick from Stack was pretty special. Top corner. Now, we've been missing that for a long, long time. Aronson was good, but he's just not really Premier League level. He's like a little terrier that bites along at your ankles, and it's a bit annoying. But he loses the ball a lot, and he keeps on the ball too much. I'm glad that Calvert-Lewin scored. Imagine getting the ball wide to somebody like Calvert-Lewin and then crossing it in for him to head it in. Imagine that. Imagine how easy that football is.
Yeah.
Okafor, though. Okafor was awful. Awful. Like, lost the ball. He was trying to do too much. Awful. and then we have a breakaway and he scores a goal.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm not sure anybody else in that team would have scored that goal. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, Mike. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's not fit. I mean, Wolves, they scored, but we had a chance opening 5 minutes or so, and then Wolves broke away and scored, and I thought, this is going to be one of them days. Of course Wolves are going to win. They haven't won anything all season. They've been garbage.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to beat us. They've got to win at some point. But no, they didn't. They're in trouble, big time.
Yeah, I mean, they are rock bottom, I believe, at the moment.
Rock bomb. I always show Anton Stach his social media post, and I particularly like this one, the Wolverine. I thought that was a good one. Well done, him. However, his socials afterwards, he's bonkers. So on Instagram, he did this thing where he's sort of, I mean, he's explained it, but it's basically, as you'll see it, it's him next to a forklift truck on the pitch, carrying some boxes that say Stach on it with a hard hat, and it just says away game, but delivery included. 1 goal, 1 assist. And you think, I mean, it's good, but you're absolutely mad.
It feels like a really shit sponsor. Do you know what I mean? Like he's sponsored by a forklift truck company or something for that. They've bunged him 10 grand to do that or something.
But then he followed it up with this, which, I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, he's basically dressed as a shrimp.
Lunch.
A lobster.
I think it is a lobster.
Now then, so it's been done by somebody called Trash Cat Graphics. Trash Cat Graphics. So maybe it's something they do. I need to check them out, probably.
Yeah.
They've done it and he's reposted it by the looks of it.
Do you know?
But it is weird.
I've thought this last couple of seasons, particularly Paquetá does this a lot, where he'll post like some photoshopped thing and it'll be, quite classic and quite classy and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, can you imagine being like the graphic designer for a footballer? And like every week, we're going to Fulham, right? Turn me into, I don't know, some Captain America or whatever. And you get like 500 quid, please. Yeah, because you're gonna invoice them 500 quid for that.
Yeah, I think they just go on ChatGPT.
I think they do now. I think those ones of Stacks look like very ChatGPT, but you look at Paquetá's and it's like there's some proper photoshopping going on there.
The only other thing I'd say about the game was that we had 6 shots on goal, 4 on target, scored 3 goals. We had less possession than them, less passes. They had many more shots.
I want to say that was something I was going to mention is like when you mentioned about defensively looking really decent, and then you look at the stats and it's 16 shots and 6 on target, and they scored once. And it's like that's decent. I don't know where the shots went. I mean, they all could have skyrocketed and gone to row Z for all I know.
Well, six of them were on target. I thought Darlow did well. People throw. We have got defenders that will put all the players actually throw themselves in front of the ball and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but Wolves. I mean, Wolves fans will be looking at that going, why aren't of those 6 on target? You've got to be scoring at least 2 of them.
Exactly that. It's the small margin. It feels really. I feel like Sam Allardyce. So it's the small margins. All right, Sam, thanks. Although I'd have him back till end of season.
Oh, don't say that. He'll rinse you of a load of cash.
So,
my stinker of the match is Okafor, obviously.
Yeah.
Even though he scored a goal.
Yeah, fair enough. Give us a minute on Farker lasting the season as manager.
I think Farker is still quite high on the list for getting a sack. But I think he will. I think he will last the season. I think he'll last the season because at the moment he's making the board look good, because the board have let him down. They didn't get the players in that he was expecting and he was asking for. They have provided. I've got to give them credit. They've provided the defenders, the strength, the height that he asked for. He gave them a very specific remit. I want tall players, more physicality. They've provided that, although to be fair, only a couple of them are actually playing. The defenders that we brought in aren't, apart from Goodmanson, and he's not one of the tall ones. So at the moment, 7 points from 5 games or whatever it is, that is, I think, way above the expectations. So he'll definitely keep him because he's making them look good.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not talking about Champions League,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
could be Europe.
I mean, after Nottingham Forest, I was like a fool.
You just forgot how crap Nottingham Forest are at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, they'd make White Wanderers look like Champions League then.
Before you get your minute, who have you got the weekend?
Everton, then Arsenal.
Everton, then Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay. You really need a result against Everton, then, don't you?
Yeah, we're not going to
Really?
get it. Absolutely not.
We've got Bournemouth and then Tottenham, so I'm not expecting a hell of a lot of points from that. Okay, give me a minute on why Sam Allardyce is your best bet as the caretaker manager until the end of the season.
Sam Allardyce, I think, genuinely, I think he's 70, 72, something like that. I think there's enough about Sam Allardyce still to come in and do a job until the end of the year. And I think it would be brilliant because he left under a sour note. And I think the only decision that Sullivan ever got right at this club was appointing Sam Allardyce when we got relegated, because he was exactly the right manager at exactly the right time. And he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He stayed a season too long. And I think that's the thing, is Sullivan never likes to sack a manager, even though he's about to sack his second in less than a year. He always likes somebody to wear out their contract, like Moyes, So there's unfinished business, I think, with Allardyce, and I've got 5 seconds left. And I think he would absolutely do a job, and I think it'd be funny.
Okay. What I will add to that, I think it was good. I think you've made some admirable points. We got Sam Allardyce in. I think paid him £500,000 for 4 games, something like that, and we went down.
I think were Leeds the only team he's ever been relegated with?
Possibly. Oh, well, it's exciting times, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's exciting times.
Yeah.
Should we finish it there?
Yeah. Okay. So don't forget, like and subscribe. And there's a new thing where people can holler. I don't know if that.
Oh,
I don't know
really?
if we've got an account big enough to be able to do it, but people can.
Doubt it.
Yeah, probably not.
Doubt it. I thought so.
There'll be a new episode next week. But it'll be the last. It'll be the last football podcast of the week because we're really shit.
I would have thought so.
Okay. So
Great.
thanks very much.
Okie doke. See you later.
See ya.